And I'm going to respond to what you said, and she's responding now.
Yeah. Growing up with brothers helps. It really gives you an edge. You get to see the ins and the outs, the do's and the don'ts, and all you really have to do is pay attention.
Yeah.
I mean, when boys are around and growing up, and you know, you see how they do their girlfriends, and you see all of this stuff, and you all should have a. I think the women that grow up with brothers like that, yeah, you all have a better edge.
That's what you want.
Absolutely.
Just
oh,
because
you
brother-
don't want
brothers,
right?
too.
You don't want one of your brothers. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying?
Yeah,
You want
yeah.
somebody. The other two that weren't, she has that. You know, she
Yeah.
has two different things to look at. Somebody that's horse, as she says, or the other ones that's kind of mild mannered and treat women the way they're supposed to. So you have an edge to have brothers like that. As yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for calling in with that insight, teacher. That really was a very powerful point to make, that when you grow up around men that are dogs and not dogs, they give you that well-rounded perspective of how men can be in general, and it definitely shapes how we think about men. So I appreciate you making that comment, and continue to listen. Hi, caller from 817 area code. You're live on the air. Inspired Intimacy Talk Radio. Who's calling? Where you calling from? King Charles.
you.
You're on the All Ladies show. You just can't get enough of Inspired Intimacy.
That's all right.
Yeah, but thank you for calling in, my brother. What is your comment?
Oh, he will have a comment.
The question was, why do men say that he loves a woman but then cheat on her? What does that mean? If a man says he's in love with you but then he's unfaithful?
That's right. That's right. Yeah. All right, King.
So what about King Charles? Let me just throw a scenario at you. Let's just say it wasn't a booty call. You've been in this relationship for, I don't know, 7, 8 years. You guys have been in a relationship, you're married or live like you're married, and then you step outside the relationship. Are you saying that even after that length of time, if a man is unfaithful, that he does not love that woman?
True. You can say no.
Is what? We didn't hear it. Forgiveness?
Okay.
Okay, wow, we almost missed that. That That was like the cliffhanger.
Yes, it was.
All right, thank you so much, King Charles, for coming in and for all of your insight and support. By the way, congratulations on your event this past weekend.
Yay.
It was amazing, and I
Yes.
really enjoyed being a part
Yes.
of your first event, King Charles Question of the Day. Meet and greet. Look forward to the next time you'll be live in the studio with us. Can you can?
Yes.
So now you can and you can't.
Yeah, right.
You can and
I
you
can
can't.
live with you, but I can also live without you.
I like that. I like that.
Get your stuff.
So what women really think about men? Okay, Golden Beauty. I'm gonna go to you on this one.
Okay.
Okay. We know we're women, so I don't know if you guys have ever done it, but I know it does happen sometimes with women. It is a true thing that sometimes women fake having an orgasm during sex. Okay. Why do women think that's necessary?
I actually have never done that. I mean,
Is it because you never had to or never wanted
I've
to?
never had to.
Okay.
I've never had to. If it wasn't right, just dismissed. But no, I've never had to do that. And why they fake that, I think a lot of times they probably seem like to me might want to get it over with.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that because, you know, they may not be in the mood at that time or whatever. And, you know, a lot of women won't and don't tell their men no. You cannot tell your man no. You know, if you don't want him to go out there and get it from other people, you got to supply what it is he demands.
And there's a saying for that.
Yes, absolutely, you know, and a lot of times they fake it just to hurry and get it over with. If he's getting his and they, you know, gonna act like they get in there, just get it with. So I really believe that has a lot to do with it.
I'm gonna have to agree with her because I have faked it before. Being married 3 times before, you know, there's that saying, it's your duty to please that booty.
Absolutely.
So, you know,
Wait, what's that saying? You gotta slow down with that. Say that again.
It's true.
it's my duty to please that booty. You know what I'm saying? And that's real because you don't want to take your man astray another way, and vice
That's
versa.
right.
The man's going to do what he has to do to please the woman.
That's
But there
right.
is come a time because, you know, at different times of a woman's life, you might have your job, raising your children, him. You know, you have other hats that you have to put on. You might not just necessarily be in that mood, but that's your significant other. So, yeah, it's your job to please your booty. And I've done it before and just, and done with it so he can take himself to sleep and I can go on and give me some sleep too.
Exactly.
But how I do it, you know, it is what it is. You're going to make up for it. You know
That's
what I'm saying?
right.
There's always a morning when you get up.
That's
There's
right.
always another time.
That's
So I mean,
right.
you just got your work cut out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes men don't necessarily fake it, but a man, just like a woman, can control your body. You can make it come on out
Oh,
and
yeah.
be done with it.
So true.
And it ain't the same
Very
like as
true.
an orgasm. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, you know, it just depends. But yeah, it happens.
Oh,
Wow,
yeah.
so that can go both ways.
Believe
Yes,
that.
Wow.
absolutely.
Believe that.
Okay.
Men call on in and go on the tell the truth because yes, they can. And very much can.
Yeah.
You know, you whatever.
Okay, my answer to that question is look, her husband, Sylvia's husband is outside the window like, baby, you
He's like,
fake with
wait
me?
a minute. He's like, was that with me? No, baby, that was way before you. You know, that's how
That
he said.
wasn't you, baby. Never you.
Being true to
Wow.
women do that for various reasons. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? And that's just keeping it real.
Another reason could be, you know, I've been married before, so I've been in that situation. Also, before I was married, I've been in a situation where it was like I just wasn't into it,
Yeah.
and this Negro just wasn't gonna stop until he thought he was the best thing I ever had.
Right.
So yes, you know, it's
Exactly.
like, please, but you
Right.
how much noise do I have to make?
Right.
Get off of me.
And
But you know, that was in my younger wild days. Hashtag no sucker. But you know, when I was better and nicer, or when I was married, I know sometimes that was just an act of sympathy because
Yeah.
it's so crushing to a man's ego
Yes,
to
it
know
is.
that he's not satisfying
Oh my
his
God.
woman. It can
Especially
be
if he's buck wild, don't know what he's doing. You know what I'm saying? You gonna go ahead on and just and leave him off you, girl. We need our womb. You understand? You babbling around in here and don't know what you're doing. Let's
Trying
keep
to
it
tear
real.
everything
Not all
up.
men know what they're doing.
Oh my God,
But
that's so true.
sometimes women do that out of sympathy. You know, it's a sympathy act because we're afraid that we will wound that man's ego if we don't make him think that we've had an orgasm. And also worse than that, there's some type of communication breakdown
Yes.
because we should be able to tell him,
Right.
well, I liked this, I didn't like that, this gets me there, this doesn't get me there. But something is making us feel like, well, I can't say that to him, so let me just pretend that, you know, that I'm satisfied. And, you know, that can be really rough because that leads to a woman that now doesn't want to have sex. Because if a woman is not, you know, what women really think about men, and I want to let men know that you're listening. A lot of times men think that women don't want to have sex as much as they want to
Right.
have sex. But I don't know about them other women out there, but I
Right.
know, like me and all my family, and
Right.
my whole kinfolk, some hot-natured chicks, okay? We love sex.
Yes.
Right.
And so if a woman doesn't want to have sex, it's not necessarily because she doesn't like sex as much as you
Right.
like sex. It's for some reason she doesn't like sex with you.
Right. A
She's
lot of-
not enjoying it. So now, you know, a woman is pretending that she has a headache. A woman may pretend that she's on her period when she's not really on
Absolutely.
it. She may linger around on getting into bed.
Start
trying
an
Yes.
argument, anything.
Yes.
Start an argument. She'll try to wait for you to fall asleep before her.
Well, that's because a lot of men come dry. What I mean by that is they just want to hump. What I
Right.
mean, what about the foreplay? I'm talking about the dinner, the
Right.
dating, the having fun, the laughter, all
Right.
that before
Right.
sex. It'll make a woman want to do
Right.
something. But if you just want to just hop on her every time you just got that urge, you know, you may have a problem.
You know what? I got my mouth shut up one time because I used to tell guys back in the dating time when a guy always wanted to do it. Or he wanted to do it in a hole I told you no on. I just flipped the script and be like, okay, well, you first. And it used to work for a while. Until one day was like, okay, I'm like, ooh.
What do you mean you first? I don't know.
Ooh, girl. You know what I'm talking about. Do you know? Say you know.
I know.
Okay, that's all enough said. Hot dog. I'm just saying, some men, they don't know how to communicate. Well, you know what?
Well, you know, I was reading a comment, so I missed the lead into
I'm
that.
not even going back on that one
She
here.
said
I
she
ain't
not-
moonwalking on that one.
I'm gonna have to listen to the playback. Huh?
No, I'm just saying, you know, it's about communication first
Yes.
and foremost. Because
Right,
even
right.
if it's not going right, you know, you can communicate and work. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know, role play, do whatever it has
Yes,
to take
there
to keep
you
it
go.
within your own roof.
There you go.
know, and within each other.
right.
You know what I'm saying? That foreplay can come in fantasy
Oh
form.
my
you know.
goodness.
I'll go on and pretend like I'm cooking at the
Yes.
stove. Get it? Because I can't cook. I'm going to turn you on to pretend like I can cook.
Yes.
You know, whatever it takes. It just takes.
But then their part.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? What role play would they need to do?
Whatever
They
it
need to
takes.
do exactly whatever it takes, but they got to give us more than wanting to just jump our bones.
Right.
They got to do, you know, they got to do something. So, and it's not really for us to really tell you unless
And you
you
got
do
to do
ask.
it afterwards too. Okay?
Yes.
'Cause you know, they always say you do afterwards. And they ain't done nothing. You know, they not. You want me to go put all of this stuff? But look, it's a two-way street.
Absolutely.
It is a
Absolutely.
two-way street. And some men that don't know what they're doing, and bless their hearts for trying to do it. You know, what they do is they'll just lay there and tell the woman, get on top and do it. And that's a good thing for the woman because
So
the
true.
woman can, it is. And so the woman can control and make sure she get hers any other way. You know what I'm saying? But some men, a real man, don't really know, if he just met you, don't really know how to please you. Sometimes it's beneficial to just tell her, go on and do what you want. Let her do it. You
Right.
started a great communication, even when it comes down to sex, if you can get to that part. And
Yeah, it's
actually do
it's
it.
very important, and I think, you know, for guys listening to help you out, the best way to handle this, and this was the way that was really, really effective in my marriage, and even for ladies listening, you know, you might be in that situation where you enjoy having sex, but you're not enjoying it with your husband or your long-term partner. The best way to handle that is to talk about it outside of the bedroom. You know, don't wait until you get into that moment and then be all frustrated because you didn't get there and make him feel bad. You know, when no sexual foreplay is going on, you got to sit down and have a conversation about it. And something that I say to couples, especially if I'm in a situation where I'm doing like a personal insight session with a couple, is it's really important for a couple to understand that as a woman, you really don't understand a man's body. You need to ask him to teach you about his body, and vice versa. As a man, you don't understand a woman's body, so you need to allow her to teach you about her body. And also, guys, really, that crap that you see on porn videos and what you did to your last girlfriend and what you got you all hot and bothered in a music video, that's not necessarily going to work. Just because something turned on the last woman that you were with, or she liked a certain stroke or a certain lick, doesn't mean you can bring that to the bedroom with your wife or your queen. You know, what you saw in the porn movie is not necessarily going to get it for her because every man's body is different. And same thing for women. You can't just bring to the table what you were doing with your ex.
Absolutely.
That's not even pure. It's so impure.
Right.
That's even an unclean motive for being together. You know, even when you talked about the role, you know, people want to do that to spice it up. That's their thing. But I find Dr. Intimacy, you know, understanding authentic intimacy. When you really become authentically intimate with somebody, you have no desire for role playing because there's nothing better than being there with that authentic person.
Well, sometimes the role play can just be that you're sexy. You know what I mean? Because you might have a problem. Even you may have a problem. You know, getting yourself to let the guards down and enjoy yourself. So he may say, well, play sexy, you know, to build the self-esteem up. Whether it's for the self-esteem for him as well.
A lot of people
I mean it to the freaky point.
No, I know what you mean, but what I'm saying is, and I want to make this point and let it stand because I think it's really important. I understand what you're saying because you may have to work into that. But what I'm saying, when a relationship reaches its purest, most authentic level of intimacy, those things become unnecessary.
I agree.
Yeah. So, but if you need it to work up to that, you know, you do what you have to do to grow into it.
I guess that's just said from a menopausal point. You know what I'm saying?
But I'd like to reiterate on what you said about not discussing those serious matters in your bedroom. That's too important. Whatever you do, leave that bedroom for what it is. You know, for intimacy. Talk at the dining room table, on the couch, wherever you need to, because it can take away when you're in your bedroom. You know, because all you're in right now is seriousness that happened, and they're talking and everything. It can take away from intimacy for a lot of couples. And women, stop being afraid, even men, to tell somebody what you really want. Tell them what you want. That nobody can guess anything. Nobody can read your mind. You have to be open, and if it's your man or your mate, your husband, whatever it is, be willing to open your mouth and let them know what it is you really want, because they cannot guess. Just like Dr. Intimacy said, what worked on one person may not work on another.
That's true.
You know, so you know you have your own thing that you like, and you can't be afraid to say it. You can't be afraid to let them know what it is. That's right. If you can't say it, take their hand. Move their hand, do something. That's right. Whatever you got to do to make it work. Oh yeah. Make sure you reiterate it to them.
Put in that effort to communicate.
Absolutely.
Well, fellas, you heard it here, so it's time to have that serious talk with your woman. You just ask her for real. Do you fake? Right? You just gonna have to
be ready for the answer, but hey,
you gotta man up and just have the courage to ask her, because she might be making some fake noise. So you gotta find out how to make her make that noise.
Well, you know,
for real.
is it fair that on those days when you perhaps in that type of situation where you don't feel like it and you say, no, I don't feel like it. So when they go over into the bathroom or into the next room, is that like okay? You know what I'm saying? If that's to me a form of faking, I didn't get it.
I think, well, you know, like for me, when I was married, and you know, when I have the opportunity to, you know, be in that situation again, unless I was really ill, I would never tell my man no.
Right.
I don't have to.
That's what I said.
I don't have to
That's
feel
right.
like it.
It's your
you know,
duty.
listen, I have a hole. It's
That's
available.
right.
Right.
You know
It's
what I'm
your
saying?
duty.
Right. To
You-
please the booty. I tell you,
I
it's
don't-
true.
I don't always have to be in the mood or get
right.
mine. If
You
he-
won't always be in the mood.
Yeah,
Right.
if he feels like it,
Right.
I can just make myself
Right.
available.
That's right.
But I also think, Golden Beauty, like you were saying earlier, that a man should be sensitive to where I'm at too.
Yes,
He ought to know
absolutely.
me well enough to know that I don't feel like it.
That's
he,
right.
he should know my
The
body language enough to know that face. to
And
know
fact
that
you and
it's-
just,
Right.
you know what I mean? Wait. It's not all
Instead,
about that all
right.
the time.
And instead, let him hold you instead of going hitting that door,
Okay.
possibly seeing somebody else.
Okay.
So you know exactly that's love.
Right.
And sometimes the intimacy, when you realize that I don't feel like it,
Yes.
so instead of trying to just get yours, you just sit here and hold me and
Absolutely.
talk to me and watch a movie
That's what I'm
with me.
There
talking
you go.
about.
That can
Yes.
be so stimulating
Yes.
that all of a sudden
You just want to
I
now.
do feel like
exactly.
right, right.
That's
Something
what you
just
now
hit
you
me.
want to exactly. But that's where we was talking about it before about the foreplay. That's a part of foreplay.
Right.
When you're holding each other,
Right.
and just because you may not feel like it,
Right.
don't mean everything got to be blah. You get
Right.
there's nothing else to do.
Right.
When you're sitting holding each other and being with each other, things that make you want to do things.
That's true.
Even
just
playing
it.
the game of dominoes.
Oh, that
That's
is so
true.
You know
true.
what I'm saying? I sometimes bet
That's
on
very
my
true.
games. Bet 2 out of 3. Yeah.
Me too.
Girl,
Yes.
that's what's up.
Yes.
Boom. On the real.
Absolutely.
Right,
Where you dark.
that's some dominoes. You gotta have fun. I think, fellas, I
You have to have fun. Yes.
what women really do about men. If you're not paying attention, what we're saying right now is that we think you don't know what it takes to really turn us on.
Yeah.
It's not what you think. It's not necessarily trying to learn how to world. You really need to know how to get to.
Oh, yes.
And I mean, I said it could be hard, male or female, if I'm going outside my race. It's challenging. White, African, black. You believe that the slave might have a moment because not really happy about it. Okay, but it is what it is. Do not to offend. I mean, no disrespect. I made it. Even how you feel. And we feel it, man. Sit down and look at pictures and say that he's so dark, they look at his. That's cold-blooded. But you know what? This is my family. All the race was destroyed there. I mean, this is always it was a leave her. I'm not right for him because I'm too white and I'm too skinny. Bones. Hurt my feelings. I just told her, and what else? That's all you got. The young girls in the, I call it a tribe because I'm not talking African American. I'm talking Shaka Zulu.
She said shotgun.
Exactly.
So let's bring that to the table then. In a relationship, generally speaking, as women, do we think that men are too influenced by their family?
Some of them it matters.
Yeah.
To some it matters. Seriously. And it depends also on the race because most men, like most men, African men, honey, if you don't know now, can be so damn demanding.
Oh,
They're not even
they
that
are.
clear.
They
They're
are
calling me, telling me, and my name's Sylvie, but you gonna call me woman? Woman. I will not be home till late. When I do, you ask no questions. You have my food hot and ready. Do you understand? And I was like, he don't know who he talking to. I was just like, okay, but know this. At 7 o'clock, it's going to be some sex up in my house, whether you are home or not. And be done with that. Straight up.
Wow.
Oh yeah, it's real.
They are
I'm not
very
kidding you.
demanding. Yes.
Those Africans, and I don't mean to be disrespectful, but it is what it is. Some of them don't know how to handle or treat a woman. You know, they learn how to just be so aggressive and so bully on the real. And there's regular men. I don't just mean. I'm just saying when we talk men, let's keep it real. There's all types of men, and some of them come from their culture and the way that they are, and they can be a boogie baby or boogie.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? I did just like my girlfriends told me. They said use your hand. I used my hand.
Well, you know,
They said use your head and talk about. I did all of that. If I woke up on a hole, you know where they're trying to take me back to, don't you?
but you know, we say that they don't know how to treat a woman. In all fairness, according to their cultural upbringing, is how you treat a woman. And in their culture, the women are subject to that, and they expect it. And a lot of them even like it. That's what they look for, you know, in a man. But when they come over here, it's a different culture. You know, it's different for us. So I
Totally
can't
different.
say they don't know how to treat a woman. I'll just say that you have to be equally yoked. If that's not how you like to be
Absolutely.
treated, then
Absolutely.
don't date that type of female, don't date that type of
Make them
man.
like
Right.
fleas.
Well, I think that's what it's called. Calling your live on the
I'm
air,
just saying.
Inspired Intimacy Talk Radio. Who's calling?
Uh-oh,
What's
hey,
up,
what's
what's
up?
up?
Hey, Revival! What's up? How you liking it? So did you? DJ Revival is he? I thought we were ex. I thought we were ex. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah.
I always get it mixed
Right.
up. So what's going on? What's your question or comment, Mr. Revival?
Some women can be pretty selfish.
Mhm.
That has a lot to do with selfishness. It's not. I mean, me for instance, I'm not hard to please. I'm truly not hard to please. I don't expect the impossible. I don't expect what I'm not willing to give. You know, a lot of people, you know, the materialistic. I'm not materialistic. A lot of people
Right.
are. You know, it's just. I don't know. It's. I think it's the individual because it's not hard to please anybody.
Sure is.
And if you going through the struggle trying to please somebody, you're dealing with somebody who's not happy with themselves. So it's not going to work. You will never please them.
That's
Wow.
Never.
Man, go ahead, girl. I agree with her on that one.
Yep.
Yeah, I do. And it's not even all the way about materialistic things,
It's you're
but they
not.
go into it thinking it's got to fire this here, that
Yeah.
do this here, and you're still not pleasing her because you're not on the same track and
Absolutely.
don't know what each other wants.
Mhm.
I mean, it's easy for me right now in my stage of my life. I mean, with my significant other, because I'm not going to have her no other way, first of all.
Absolutely.
And in my eyes, a woman is right always. Don't argue with her. So.
You know, that begs a question because I'm glad that you asked a revival because I forgot about the question that we were supposed to address before we had went to that break where the guy said, why does a woman get a good man and then treat him abusively? And it begs the question when he's asking right now, he said, why is it such a struggle to keep a woman happy? And what I'm wondering is, do some women think that it's a man's responsibility to keep her happy? Is that his job?
Some women actually think they got it going on like that for some reason.
They're the most unhappy people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What were you saying, Jay Revival? Well, I was asking Golden Beauty and Queen Sylvie. Thank you so much for calling in. I miss you. Can't wait for you to be back live in the studio next week with Charles Bond and Wanda Scott talking about toxic relationships.
Wow.
Woo!
Wow.
All right, I'll talk to you. Hi, caller, you're live on the air, Inspired Intimacy Talk Radio. You got a lot of background noise. Can you tone down that noise? 615 area code. You need to turn your radio all the way down. Yes, hi, caller, you're live on the air with Queen Sylvie, Golden Beauty, and Dr. Intimacy. Where you calling from?
Hey. Hey.
Absolutely. Right, right.
That's good.
Absolutely. Right. Thank you for calling.
Thank you so much, Minister Eubanks, and we will talk to you soon. Hi, caller from 817 area code. You're live on the air, Inspired Talk Radio. Caller. You can hear you. This? Okay. What is your comment? You think that women that think responsibility to keep the woman happy. But do you think most women think that man is responsible though? I agree with you. You're not responsible for somebody's happiness. You think that we think a man should keep her happy. That's good. That's good. Well, thank you so much, Tim, for that insight. Did you want to respond to that?
No, but he knows he's speaking it right.
Yes.
Hey, Tim.
I do want to respond to that. A lot of
Bye.
bye-bye. A lot of times when you're looking for your happiness, that built-in happiness, it's really about, a lot of people feel like they need to be glued to their mates and don't want to go outside to do anything
anything, girl stuff, whatever it is that you may want to do. You have to be yourself. That's how you find your happiness. Absolutely. You don't need to be out there with your girls or whatever you're doing and having a good time wondering what he's doing.
Right.
That's the last thing should be on your mind is wondering what somebody is doing.
Right.
Live your life. If the person is for you, they're going to be for you. But to actually try to keep tabs on somebody is the worst thing you could possibly do. You're setting yourself up. You're setting him up. You're sabotaging your relationship. Live and just make yourself happy and have a life outside of your relationship. Don't get into a relationship and think that relationship is your life now. What was you doing before that relationship? You were dealing with your cousins. You were dealing with your friends. You were dealing, family get-togethers. All of a sudden, you get with somebody and you know nowhere to be found. Anybody find you? You out there, you act like you got to be glued to him. He is not glued. Get that adhesive. I mean, have a life outside of a relationship and make you happy. It will make him happy and it'll make y'all happy in the long run.
Well, you gotta have some hair.
You have to. You have to.
No more than they need.
You absolutely. Absolutely.
I think, from my perspective, and I talked about this on the show last week, you're talking about what was going on prior to the relationship. Like for me, there was nothing going on. I had no life. I had no friends. Very, estranged relationship with my family. So, was it my husband's responsibility to make me happy? Absolutely not. Did I expect him to? Heck yeah. It was a burden that I placed on him that I shouldn't have. But I realized in hindsight, we're divorced now, but I realized in hindsight, because I didn't have a quote unquote life, I needed him to be everything.
Wow.
And that put such a strain on the relationship. It was something that he couldn't live up to. So it made him feel like a constant failure in the relationship. And I didn't even realize that I was doing that. I didn't mean to. But it's just the way that went out because I hope it's my own life. I talk about women expect their new man to make up for what the old man didn't do. I brought all kinds of baggage into that relationship, and I expected him to unpack my bags for me.
And that's a setup.
Yeah.
That's a true setup. You can't set people up and expect, and then when you get disappointed, it's on them.
Right.
Your expectations is your expectations, and you cannot expect anybody to live up to your expectations. Have a life, live. So, whatever. Think of something that'll get you busy.
Get a hobby.
Absolutely. Get a hobby. Do something that'll make him think, well, was she going to do this? And y'all catch up with each other later, call each other, whatever. Yeah. But don't ever make don't make anybody feel like they're expected to do anything. You want them to do it because they simply want to.
A proper cake, like somebody's proper.
But you want them to actually want to do it. You don't want them to feel like they're obligated.
Right.
Because it's not going to come. It's not going to come like you really want it. You're going to be he's going to be half stepping anyways because he's giving you something he think you want instead of him doing it because he simply wants to.
And that goes back to what the question that I was talking about. It was OZ that wrote and talked about why you get a good man and abuse him. And I think we're really answering that question now. I think when you come to the table with these unrealistic expectations about what a man is supposed to do and be in your life, and he doesn't meet those expectations, you begin to lash out at him and you resent him for failing to fulfill your fantasy.
Well, someone's always looking for somewhere to put some blame, though, because it's a two-way street.
Absolutely.
And if you didn't say nothing in the first place, and he's assuming that you want to do this here and you're not, who's looking to blame if you didn't say nothing?
There you go. You have to say something. You have to, you have to speak up.
Yeah, you do.
You can't expect a man to read your mind. You can't expect yourself, you got to communicate.
I don't really think about that. We don't hear us. We talk and they still don't hear. We express what we need. And a lot of times the problem with men, until we've been married 3 times, I know
because I was just going to tell you something of what I had to do, and it's terrible. I mean, I wasn't being mean, but communicating is important. And you can try to tell them and try and tell them, and they keep getting on your nerve, and you know that all of that buildup is not good. So one day, honestly, I put in what I call the DT theory. I'll tell you about this because it's terrible, but I did what I did. And you know, I waited till I got when he got sick because I got tired of telling him. And I went into the other room and tore big strips of duct tape because DT means duct tape. And I duct taped him up on the reel. And when he woke to walk duct tape up, I did just the best thing there is to do. I pulled out my phone and I recorded myself telling him everything that he did wrong, telling him what I expect, what's wrong, and how to make it right. At least you got to try, right? So if he didn't try and didn't do it, after he sat there on the phone, duct taped up, telling me, yeah, okay, I understand, do it, I threatened to put it out on the World Wide Web.
Wow. Wow.
How did that work out for you?
That's divorce number 2. That's divorce number 2.
Something tells me that might not have been the most effective way.
Try. You can't say I didn't try, Dad. Never tried.
Okay, you didn't
I
try.
told him,
Wow.
I texted him, I wrote it down. Look, I had to find some other measure.
You know, a lot of times people think that they have these they can fix things themselves. Now there's seminars, there's tapes, there's things that actually you can go to as a couple and build together and learn together, and this stuff teach you to do that kind of stuff together instead of trying to. We can't figure it out by ourselves.
Some men in their
Yes,
pride won't
you
even
can't
go
do it.
to a therapist. or
But
take
even
it
if they don't go
outside
to a
the
therapist, there's CDs.
house. Yeah.
There's things that you can do right in your
That
home
is true.
that you don't have to involve another person.
Right.
You know,
Keep it under your roof is
right?
what I
Because
always say.
everybody don't know everything.
Right.
You know, a man don't know everything.
Right.
A woman don't know everything.
right.
So venture out.
That's right.
Invest.
Yeah.
Invest in your
I
relationship.
agree.
That, you know, and it's about getting, you know, just investing in yourselves. And if the two people are on the same level, in the same area, thinking the same way, it'll be an easy go, and it'll be remarkable. It's a wonderful thing to be able to. There you go. There you go.
Well, let me read this comment. This is so cool. Jay Revival wanted to follow up on what he said. And he said, I think it's a man's nature to want to make a woman happy. Yes, a woman must have her own happiness and wants to do something that will add to that happiness. We like to do something that makes her smile, laugh, etc. It's like something in us is satisfied when it happens. Well, that's a powerful comment. Let me see what it says, call in, and then we'll respond to that. Hi, caller. You're live on the air on Inspired Intimacy Talk Radio. Who's calling? Where you calling from? Jake Jackson. Where are you calling from? California. Okay. All right. Well, what's your question or comment, Jake? I'm sorry? Oh, no, Jake, you called the wrong show, but you're going to have to ask a question now. We're talking about what women really think about men. What do women really think about men?
Wow.
Just put it down. What? That's what we want, huh? So why is it that when we try to communicate our needs and desires, sometimes it seems like men, they're not hearing us when we try to communicate?